What is that doing for you? They're still going to continue to get money. They're still going to continue to do all this while you taking the time to actually make this fake page because you mad.
You supposed to, huh? Might run that check while I'm sitting in the Uber. If you don't know me, I'm good with computers. If it ain't about money, I ain't tryna chill. 20 profits, I'm flooded with bills. Most of my bitches, they spoil like some milk. Mansion on the way, that bitch getting built. Rental car savings, I'll check me an M. My life a movie and my life a film. I'm getting money on the front and the back end. He ain't the plug if he said it, he taxing. Favor for favor, I do what I...
So in today's video, we're going to talk about Airbnb and Turo. We're going to talk about what's the differences, the goods and the bads. And also, we got cool nerds in the We definitely going to get into it, y'all. Y'all ready?
Turning your liabilities into an asset. That's really the biggest thing. Like, you know, and previously in the past, as we know, one of the two biggest purchases you're going to ever make in your life is going to, one, be your car, and then two, be your home. And then typically those things were considered liabilities. So now, because of technology and people having forward thinking, people have turned those liabilities into assets, right? To actually generate cash. Some people generate equity plus cash, but we're gonna talk about the cash flow and how you can generate cash flow to your bank account, where then you can actually get qualified for bigger investments, get qualified for loans, because banks are seeing you having those type of funds coming inside your bank account.
Right. So what I want to talk about is, I don't want to scare anybody off, because to do this, you do not have to be the richest. You do not have to be the smartest. You can actually have a cheap car. You can actually have a cheap home, depending on if the neighborhood you're staying in has a lot of traffic, or even with your car, you can have a cheaper car with a good price. Somebody just might pay to rent it out on Turo. Somebody might see your home and pay to stay in it for the night. You just never know. So you don't just want to always, don't get the negativity in your mind thinking that, oh, well, I need a nice home and a nice car to actually get on these apps, because you definitely don't. There's plenty of people that's making small money, but small money is better than no money. And if they're working at like a regular job, actually having a cheap car, a cheap home on Turo or on Airbnb will actually pay more than what that job is actually paying.
Facts. Even going into the cheap car aspect, there's so many different ways that you can get a cheap car. We all got connections, or we know somebody in a network, or somebody may have an additional car, or somebody may have good credit, and then you can just come to them with a business plan, right? So let's say you got no real money, no real credit, but if you actually write up something into your home and be like, yo, bro, I know you got some good credit. What I want to do is help you make an extra $2,000 a month. Let's get this $10,000 car, and what I do is, this $10,000 car, I'm gonna put it on Turo. I've already analyzed the market. I know this Nissan Altima should make us about $1,000 a week, right? Now you at $4,000 a month just on a Nissan Altima. His car note ain't nothing about $700. Would you take that deal?
Yeah, this is what y'all need to start doing. Y'all need to start looking for business partners, but you have to also be a business partner. If you don't understand that, what that means is you may be looking for a business partner, but you also have to be the disciplined, responsible, and organized person as well. So you have to want, right, what you want as a business partner. So they want that in return, not just a person who just wants and have needs. You know what I mean? So like, as far as doing Airbnb and Turo, yes, it's simple, but you can actually make everything much more better by coming into the situation as an asset versus a liability.
Yeah, facts. Because the first business you ever gonna own is actually gonna be yourself. So if you're thinking, when I just mentioned that about going to a homie or to a friend, and you say, man, none of my friends like that, none of my homies like that, then you're hanging around with the wrong people.
Yeah.
You're hanging around with the wrong people. Or you yourself, the person that you are today, is the wrong person.
Yes.
So you gotta be better, right? So when you bring that to somebody and you actually have a plan, they gonna think about your character, think about your history, and say, is this person a fuck up? Or I trust them to make some moves.
Right, exactly.
So thinking about that, it's two ideas when you get into the Turo. You can go into it with I want to make cash flow, or I want to turn this into a full stream income, a full business. And then you actually write out a real strategy, you write out a real plan.
No, so look, this another thing. So let's say if you don't have a car and you planning on getting a car. A lot of people got their stimulus checks, a lot of people got their taxes. So let's say if you're like, oh, well, I can't get a nice car off a lot because I don't have no credit. Now, the secret to life right now is there's a lot of places like buy here, pay here's that's going to be probably overpriced, but they'll take a little cheap down payment. But the finesse is, when you get this car, it's Turo. It's different apps. It's more apps than just Turo, but Turo is one of the main ones that everybody know about. So what you can do, if you're straight on some money making stuff, right, and you get a nice car off of the buy here, pay here, and yes, they tax me, right? But if you get a nice car, you can charge anywhere from $100 to $300 depending on how nice the car is, and that's per day, and that depends on the location that you are in. So if you have a location like, for instance, Miami, and it's a nice car, I'm pretty sure you will be able to rent that car out at least 4 times per week, 4 times, right? Depending on what type of car, what type of price. Because Miami is a tourist state. People come here and they just want to jump in cars and jump in Airbnbs quick, fast. Not every state is like that. So that's why, like in the last video I made about Airbnbs and Turo, people were commenting, well, people aren't going to rent their homes this many times or their cars this many times. Is because the person that's commenting probably stays in an area where it's dry and not really no traction going on. But we're talking about these popping areas. It's all just like this all the time. Hotels are always booked, cars are always rented out. You want to find those type of locations. So that's what we talking about. If you know that a city is popping and money is always being made there and everybody's going there, clearly that's where the money at. That's probably where you need to be at. If it's very dry and everybody's working a job and everybody's negative, then you need to move around. You know what I mean? So first step to getting a Turo is actually going to look for the car that's going to make you the most profit. Now, if you can afford it, yes, you can go with something decent, but make sure if you're going to get the car that you will rent the car yourself. Ask yourself, would I rent this car? And then you put the price tag on there that's depending on the area you stay in, that's the type of price tag you put on it. Because if it's a low-end area, then you're never going to get the car rented. If it's a high-end area, then the car possibly will get rented for a reasonable price.
And one of the most important things on Turo is people like eye candy, right? So if you put up bad pictures, it doesn't matter how good your car is, your car will not get rented. Yeah. You got to treat your Turo account like an Instagram influencer, right? Yes. Take professional photos. Get good copywriting, write detailed descriptions about your car, talk about the sunroof, talk about how cool the AC blows, and when they get in the car, it's gonna feel like a winter breeze. Talk about how the sunroof goes back to make your hair fly in the wind. Like, actually sell people on your products. I see a lot of times people get on Turo and it's just a picture of the whip, right? So if you're trying to turn this into a business, actually take it seriously.
So just know that as far as when you're putting up posts, captions are very important. Like, somebody might see the picture, but they will like the picture 10 times better if you have a great caption, because they will read the caption and feel the caption and like the photo just strictly off the caption. So that's the same with Airbnb. If you got a lot in the details, descriptions, captions, if it looks great, you know, that might even make a person rent the car, depending on how well you even talk and meet them. When you greet them is very important. You just can't go meet a person that's going to rent your car out for a week in like street clothes. You got to hire somebody that's professional, you know what I'm saying, that's a salesman or a saleswoman, you know, to actually go meet and greet these people. If you feel like you're not in that right state of mind at the time to go meet these people, or you just left the gym, or you know, everything has to be professional when you're doing this, because your plan, when you are jumping into these type of things like Airbnb and Turo, you want to make sure that you know that this is a real business and it can potentially make you millions of dollars. So every time that you do something, you got to think like, I'm gonna make $1 million from doing this. So you have to treat it like you're gonna make $1 million from doing it. Don't just do it like, oh, I'm just doing this for now, and just treat it like how you worked your first job. You know how thirsty you was when you worked your first job and you was on it and on time, excited. You got to treat everything like that. If you're not excited about being a millionaire, then, you know, what are you doing it for? You know what I'm saying? So just put your all into it. That's all I think, you know.
And then a lot of people who watch these videos, they be like, Kev, man, it's not all about the money. I heard a saying, listen, if money can't buy happiness, it's a damn good down payment, right? So money, a lot of times, are 90% of people's issues, right? And then if you got money, you only got to worry about 10% of the problems in the world.
Right.
That should make sense, right? So if you think about your family, you think about your lifestyle, traveling, stop making moments highlights, right? When you post those on your Instagram, you got Miami, you got New York, you got Boston, you posted highlights. Sooner or later, you want to make that your lifestyle, so it's no longer stunning. That's just you living.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really
people who get mad about you living your life and actually, you know, having fun with your life are the people who feel like they will never be like that in life. Because most of the time when I see nice things, I actually get excited from seeing people live their nice life, because I always felt like I would be just like that. So this is the thing. If you see somebody like wearing nice clothes, with a lot of money, nice cars, nice home, you should get excited because you should know that it is possible for you to do the exact same thing because they're no different. And they probably came from the same mud that you came from. And you're working your way up and they worked their way up. They just got there quicker. Now, you can take it how you want to take it as motivation, or you can just be a hater, which is not going to do anything for you, but block you because you're spending all your time and energy hating on their success. What are they going to do for your success? That's what you have to think about. It's crazy that a person would take 10 minutes out their time to actually make a post on you being negative. They will actually try to make a status about you being negative. They will take the time to comment. But then if you do a real background check on their life, right, they're doing so horrible. Not too many successful people take the time to do all this. That is not how they get rich. Hating. What is that doing for you? That's not doing nothing for you. They're still going to continue to shop. They're still going to continue to get money. They're still going to continue to do all this while you taking the time to actually make this fake page because you mad. That's not going to do nothing for you. That's not even going to make them mad. Don't you think it's a plenty haters that they deal with daily? Basically, I want to give you a little insight on Airbnb and Turo. Right now, we are filming an Airbnb and Turo course for KevoConnects.com. So make sure y'all go to KevoConnects.com right now and sign up. Also, I am finna drop a great video right now on KevoFans.com. I appreciate everybody that's signing up for Kevo Fans right now. It's gonna go crazy. Like I say, crazy, crazy. All types of different lenders, all types of different stuff on there. So make sure y'all subscribe to KevoFans.com. OnlyFans is still up. You can actually sign up for OnlyFans as well. Instagram, Bandman_Kevo on Instagram. Snapchat, Bandman Kevo. Twitter, Bandman Kevo. Facebook, Bandman Kevo, man. Make sure y'all sign up right now.